Assalamualaikum students, hope you're doing good. This is your lecture for physics, grade 8. The unit we already started is unit 6, that is work and energy. The date is 25 January 21 and the day is Monday. Learning outcomes for this lecture includes you will be able to define potential energy after this lecture. Then you will be able to prove the potential energy, that is potential energy is equals to mgh, and you will able to list the different forms of energy that are mentioned in your book, and then you also able to know how to interconversion of energy take place. Now we are going to start our topic that's come under unit 6 work and energy. The topic is 6.4, that is potential energy. First of all, we have to know that what is potential energy. Often a body has the ability to do a work, and sometimes the work has a form in energy. So we are going to discuss about potential energy. Potential energy is basically the energy that is possessed by a body due to its position. And if the position is involved during the energy, we can say that the body is known as having the potential energy. So now we will see different examples in which potential energy is using. If you see figure 6.3, the running water possesses the energy. So what type of energy the water is possessing? This is a stored water, and when it falls from some height, it possesses potential energy because that water is falling from some height, and when height is involved, we can say that, and the position, obviously the position is of the water is changing, and the water is falling from some height, so we can say that it has the potential energy. But here in this example, the potential energy is known as, it has a gravitational potential energy because the energy present in a body due to its height is called a gravitational potential energy. Now if we see a second figure, figure A, a hammer is raised up to some height, and then again we bring it down to press this nail. So as the hammer is raised, obviously it will get some height. When it will get some height, it has the energy that will be a potential energy, right? So if you see figure B, what are you seeing in the B? There is a stored energy in this bow, right? So what happened over here, when we release this bow, we just stretch it at the back and the arrow will be moved in a forward direction. So the energy present in a stretched bow is potential energy, but this bow is stretched. When this bow is stretched, obviously it has some elasticity in this bow, so we can say that it has the elastic potential energy. So these three are the example of potential energy. Some examples, they possesses gravitational potential energy, and other they are having elastic potential energy. Now we will discuss about potential energy in detail, and we will see the derivation of potential energy in this topic. Let's suppose if a body is having a mass m, and we raise that body to some height, and we call that we represent that height with h. So from where we raise a body? We raise a body from the ground, right? So it means we are increasing its height, right? So what happened over here? The body is gaining a potential energy because the body is changing its position, and body is moving towards some height. And obviously when the body is moving, it's covered some distance in the form of h, and the force is also applied to move the body in the upward direction. And we can say that when there is a force and the distance is covered, we can say that the body is doing some work. And now here the potential energy must be equal to the work done, right? So in this case, the potential energy will be equal to F into h. F is the force and h is the height of the body that is raised. So As the force is produced in the body when we raise the object in the upward direction, obviously body has a mass m and its weight is always acting downward. So it's mean the force that exists in the body is W, because body has tendency to fall down and it has the weight W, which is also a force. So we can write W instead of this F, and H will be remain as it is. And all of you know that the weight of body is given by W is equals to mg. So the potential energy will be equal to WH, and if we put the value of W, we will get mgh. So potential energy is equal to mgh. This is the formula for potential energy. So the potential energy possessed by the body with respect to the ground is mgh, and is equal to the work done in the lifting it to the height. M is the mass, g is the gravity, and h is the height of the object. So this is example 6.3 that is given in your book. A body of mass 50 kg is raised to the height of 3 meter. What is the potential energy given? G is equals to 10 meter per second square. First of all, we have to write the given data. The mass of the body is given to us, which we have to represent with small m, and that is equal to 50 kg. And the height of the object is represented by small h, and that is given to us, which is equal to 3 meter. Gravity, all of you know that the value of g is 10 meter per second square, and this is also given in the example. So by using the, if we see these parameters are basically the form of potential energy. So we can easily use the formula potential energy is equals to mgh, and we just need to substitute the value in the above formula, and we get potential energy is equals to 50 kg into 10 meter per second square into 3 meter. If we just multiply 50 with 10, we get 500, and then into 3 we get 1500. So potential energy is equals to 1500 joule. The potential energy of the body is 1500 joule. So class, keep in mind the unit of work is joule, the unit of kinetic energy is also joule, and the unit of potential energy is also a joule. So energy and work, they have the same unit. Now if we consider example 6.4, a force of 200 Newton acts on a body of mass 20 kg. The force accelerates the body from rest until it's attained the velocity of 50 meter per second. Through what distance the force acts? So again, this example is very easy. The data is given to us and we have to find out the distance. So first of all, we have to write the data that is given in the example. The force is given to us, which we have to represent by F, and that is 200 Newton. The mass is represented by small m, and that is 20 kg. Then the velocity is also given to us, which is represented by small v, and that is 50 meter per second. And the distance we have to find out, which we have to represent by capital S in this example. So all these parameters, if you see these parameters, they are having, we use this parameter in a kinetic energy. And also when you see the word of velocity, it means there is a motion in a body, and whenever there is a motion in a body, it means it possesses a kinetic energy. So because of this velocity, the body is in motion and body is possessing a kinetic energy. So we will use the formula which is related to kinetic energy. We have to judge from the example that what kind of formula we have to use in the given example, right? So we can say that work done on the body is equal to the kinetic energy gained by the body. So work done is equal to F into S, and the kinetic energy is given by half mv square, which we have derived in the previous lecture. So what we have to do, we have to find the value of S. So we will move F on the other side, and it will come in the denominator. After making the equation, we have to put the value that are given in the problem. So S will be equal to 20 kg multiplied by 50 meter per second whole square divided by 2 into 200 Newton. When we do the calculation with the help of a calculator, we get the answer. S will be equal to 125 meter. So this is the distance that is moved by the body. So there are different form of energy. In the start of lecture, we also discussed briefly about different form of energy that are mentioned in your book. So again, we will be discussing the energy. They are having the different form. One is electrical energy. The other one is mechanical energy. Third one is heat energy. Fourth one is sound energy. And fifth one is chemical energy. And the last one is nuclear energy. In the next slides, we will discuss these energy in detail. So class, first of all, we have to discuss about mechanical energy. What is mechanical energy? Mechanical energy is an energy that is possessed by a body due to its motion or position. And when there is motion and position there involved, we can say that the body has a mechanical energy. Right? So if you see a water that is running down through this water mill, it is possessing a potential energy because the water is coming from some height, and when it will be go down, it is possessing a kinetic energy. So we can say that a water mill has a mechanical energy. So there are a lot of examples related to mechanical energy, and that can be a water running down in a stream, wind, because wind is when air is moving, there is a wind, so it has a motion. So we can say that it is also an example of mechanical energy. Then a moving car, a lifted hammer, a stretched board that we have discussed in the potential energy. They are also example of mechanical energy. A catapult or compressed spring. Catapult is basically a stored energy that is used in military weapons. So this example is also given in your book. And a compressed spring, it is also having a stored potential energy. So we can say that these examples, they are having the mechanical energy that are produced by them. Then second one is heat energy. If you see that, what is the heat energy? Heat is basically a form of energy that is given by a hot bodies. So if we see a sun is giving us the heat, so it is a source of heat energy, and we are getting heat from the sun, right? So there are large amount of heat can be produced if we burn a fuel. So what happen, if we the food we take provide us a heat energy. By eating a food, we can get a heat energy. So these are the examples for heat energy. So class, now the other form of energy is electrical energy. Electrical energy is a type of energy that mostly we are used in our daily life. In every home, in every office, every school, we are dealing with electricity. So electrical energy is basically produced. We can supply electrical energy with the help of wire. And how we get electrical energy? We can get electrical energy with different batteries and electrical generators. Right, if you see the figure, most of the things of our daily life need electrical energy for their operation, right? So how do we get electrical energy from electrical generator? Basically hydropowers, thermal and nuclear power, they are the main source by which we are getting the electrical energy. So if we can see we can see the next energy, that is a sound energy. Sound energy is basically an energy that is produced when the body is start vibrating, and it is also a form of energy. When you knock the door, you hear the sound is produced and you can hear it. As I told you that the sound energy is produced when body is start vibrating. So if you see the person is he is making a noise with this CT, right? So he is producing a sound. Similarly, if you see this amplifier, this is basically a loudspeaker. When we speak it, we get a larger amount of sound. So this is also an example of a sound energy. And there are other examples such as the vibrating diaphragm of a drum, the vibrating string of a sitar, and vibrating column of winds instruments such as pipe. So this is also we can say this is a flute pipe by which we can hear the sound. So these are the example for sound energy. So the other form of energy are light energy. So what is light energy? Light energy is a very important energy because because we can see different things with the help of light during night time and the places where there is those they are very dark. So light is very important. If you see the figure, we can say that the light is very important during the night time. We see the things with the help of the light. So plants they are preparing their food. They can prepare their food in the presence of a sunlight. Sunlight is basically a natural source of light, and what we do with the light, we can see a things with the help of a light. There are different sources by which we can get a light. That, for example, candles, electrical bulbs, fluorescent tubes, and burning fuels. These are the most common examples of light energy and a natural source of light that we get from the sun. So the next one is chemical energy. Chemical energy is basically the energy that is take place during the chemical reaction. So what happened if you see in figure 6.12, a cooking stove with compressed gas cylinder. So it's mean the chemical reactions are taking place over here and it's producing a chemical energy. Then the second thing is that the sectional view of electrical cell. This is a electrical cell and the chemical reaction they are also taking place with the help of a chemical energy. So we can get the chemical energy when the chemical reactions they are taking place. So if you see this stove, when we burn this stove, we are getting a natural gas, and sometimes we burn the coal and burning wood. What happen? The chemical reactions they are taking place, and they release heat and light energy. So with the help of this stove, what we do, we can get the heat energy as well and the light energy as well with the help of chemical energy. The energy is obtained from the electrical cell. If you see this cell in figure B, they are basically the result of chemical reactions that are taking place in this electrical cell. And if we see the example of animals they are getting heat and muscular energy from the food they eat. The food that in the food, what happens? The chemical reactions are taking place when they chew the food, and they get the muscular energy. Muscular energy is basically the movement of muscle, and similarly, they are getting the heat energy as well when the animals they are taking the food. Um, so these are the so this chemical energy, the reactions, chemical reactions, they are involving it, and they are also producing different energy from chemical energy. If you see figure, do you know what have you seen? There are a lot of fruits and vegetables that are shown in this figure. So our body gets energy stored in the food we take to perform various activity. So when our body take the stored food, basically the chemical reactions they are involving in this food, right? So chemical energy is exist over there, and when we eat these fruits, what we get the heat. Heat is also another form of energy, and with the help of heat, we can perform various activities. So the last form of energy that is given in your book is nuclear energy. First of all, we will define what is nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is basically the energy that is released in the form of nuclear radiation. When we add heat and light during the nuclear reactions take place, such as fission reaction and fusion reaction. You hear the term of fission and fusion, nuclear fission and fusion reaction. First of all, we will discuss what is nuclear fission. Nuclear fission is basically the radioactive decay process in which nucleus of an atom split into two or more different atoms. You know that you have learned this process in chemistry. So this is basically a nuclear fission and the nuclear energy is related emitted in producing in this case. If you see the nuclear fusion reaction, what is the nuclear fusion reaction? In nuclear fusion reaction, the two or more nuclei, they will be combined and they will be formed one or more different atomic and subatomic particle. They will be combined like this and they will be making different particles. So in fusion, the nucleus of the atom, they will split, and in fusion, the nuclei and different particles, they will be combined to form some subatomic particle, right? So this is the nuclear energy. If you see the sun is giving us the heat energy. And what happened on the sun for the last billion years, the nuclear reactions that is taking place on the sun, and in the result of nuclear reaction, we are getting heat on the earth. So this is the, do you know, a nuclear power plant uses the energy released in the nuclear reactors such as fission to generate electrical power. So to generating an electrical power, it means we are getting electrical energy over here with the help of nuclear fission. So nuclear fission is also a type of a nuclear energy. So now we will discuss about the next topic, that is 6.6, interconversion of energy. If you see that energy can not be destroyed, however, it can be converted from one form to the other form. If you see this example, this is a cyclist and he is riding a cycle. So when he is starting riding a cycle, obviously he is in state of motion. When he is in state of motion, some forces apply on this body, and also it covers some distance. So it's mean the work is done over here and the energy is producing. And when we are dealing with motion, it's mean we are dealing with kinetic energy. So the cyclist is possessing a kinetic energy in this case. So when he will ride at the top of the this slope, what happened over here, its kinetic energy is converted into potential energy. Now because the height is involved over here, so whenever we have the height, it has a tendency to come down, and it also has a weight which is given by W is equals to mg. The force is converted into weight, and weight is also a force. So here the potential energy is equal to mgh. Now this cyclist possesses a potential energy, and when it's coming down, it releasing its potential energy, and after some time when it will reach on the ground, and he's still riding a cycle, it's mean its potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. So this is basically an interconversion of kinetic energy into potential energy, and potential energy can also be converted into kinetic energy. Now we are continuing the same topic, that is interconversion of energy. So there are a lot of examples that relate that energy can be interconverted rather than it cannot be destroyed. For example, if you rub your hand together very quickly, what happened? You will feel your hand will be warm after some time. So what happened? You are using the muscular energy with the help of your hands, and then when you rub your hand, what happened? The heat will be produced. So your muscular energy is converted into heat energy, and muscular energy is basically a mechanical energy. So it's mean we can say that the mechanical energy is converted into heat energy when we are rubbing our hand. So if you see this figures 6.14, interconversion of energy. This is if you see this diagram, you see a lot of clouds, house, the rain is over there, sun, and different green. This is basically your nature. The process of nature are basically the result of energy changes. The energy are changing, that why we are having the nature, and the process of nature is take place because of these energy changes. So what happens if you see this sun? This sun is basically producing a heat energy, and this heat energy is taking to a ocean, right? What happens when the heat energy is taken up by the water in the ocean? This will increase in its thermal energy. The thermal energy will be increased over here in the water. So the thermal energy causes water to evaporate from this ocean. And what happen, these vapor, they will be rise up and they will be form they will evaporate in the form of water vapor, and they are making a cloud. See, these are the clouds. So what happens when these molecule will water molecule vapor molecule will be cooled down, then we are getting a rain. So this is basically a nature that energy is converted from one form to the another form. And when the rain is taking place over here, our potential energy is converted into kinetic energy, right? So we can say that the potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. And when when this water is flowing on some let's say there are some rocks, and the water is falling on some rocks, what happened, they will wash away the soil particles of the rock. And when the upper layer of the soil particles that is removed with the help of a water, we can say that it is a soil erosion. So in this way, the interconversion of energy is taking place in the nature. So the homework for today lecture is that you have to write the different form of energy that we have discussed in this lecture, and you have to explain them. Okay, this is your homework, and you have to do this in your notebook, and you have to write all the forms of energy that are given in your book. So class.